What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. In this video, I got several important things here for you guys, including Social Security's largest raise since 1982, the Social Security increase for 2023, or the Social Security raise for 2023. Comes with bad news for retirees and why it might mean you may have to pay more taxes. We're going to go over that here in this video. Also, how the Social Security Trust Fund could reach insolvency sooner than anticipated. So if you're new to our channel, make sure to click the subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on new videos. It's completely free to do so. Click the bell icon after you subscribe. And also, thanks so much for liking and sharing these videos. All right, let's jump right in. We got a lot to talk about. So the Social Security raise for 2023 is going to be happening here in a few days. I just did another video which showed the Social Security funding, which has just passed in the $1.7 trillion omnibus government funding bill. I'll link you to that video here at the end of this video so you can see the information on that. And also, I have the Social Security payout dates. Some people are actually getting their Social Security raise in December. A lot of people aren't aware of that. So I'll link to that video here in just a moment. So you can click on that and see the information on that if you want to. But a lot of people aren't aware of those different things. There's really a lot going on here right now, and yeah, the end of the year and the beginning of the year is a little hectic and a little crazy. The new Congress is coming in here at the beginning of January, and there's just it's a little hectic, So you can see here, Social Security's largest raise since 1982. It's 81 that went in effect in 82. Comes with bad news for retirees. So first, the Social Security raise is going to be an unusually large 8.7%. So this is good news for most people. This is the fourth largest raise ever, in Social Security history, going all the way back since 81, 82. And also, this is kind of good news as well because inflation now is down to 7.1%. It's been going down several months here in a row. We're seeing this most notably in gas prices, with most, or I'll say a lot of states in the $2 range here in the United States. Not if you're in California. Sorry, not if you're in California. Guess not in the $2 range. But we're seeing a lot of states in the $2-ish range. We're also seeing home prices drop and car prices drop, but not interest rates. Interest rates going up considerably. For example, home interest rates were in the 3% or even lower, now in the 7% range. So that's kind of a catch-22 because, yeah, like an average home interest rate can cost you $1,000 more a month. So that's really kind of a not good thing. Yeah, so you can buy a home for the home price itself is less. You don't have to outbid 20 people, but the interest is going to cost you a lot more, at least maybe for the next year or two, three, maybe, until interest rates come down considerably. Gas prices are down a lot. They're down less than they were a year ago, even. So that's a nice reprieve. So you can see here, Social Security beneficiaries will get an unusually large 8.7% cost of living adjustment raise in 2023. This is for everybody underneath the Social Security umbrella: SSI, SSDI, VA, RRB, survivors, everybody underneath the Social Security umbrella. That ranks as the largest raise for retired workers since 1982 and the fourth largest raise in history. While that certainly qualifies as good news, the historic COLA may come with two unpleasant surprises. Really, three. I'll go over the third one here as well. Here are the details retired workers need to know. Number one, more retired workers will owe federal income tax on Social Security benefits. A lot of people think that there's no taxes on Social Security. This is not the case. And this is growing increasingly happening more and more each year that taxes are starting to catch up to more people on Social Security. You can see here initially Social Security benefits were exempt from federal income tax, but Congress changed that law in 1983 so basically they could get their hands on more of your money. Yeah, as if they didn't tax you enough when you were working, now they want to tax you when you're not working. Yeah, you can let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. Authorizing the taxation of benefits for individuals whose income exceeded certain thresholds. A second higher threshold was added in 1993 as well. Oddly, those thresholds have never been adjusted for inflation, which is not good. That is problematic because benefits have been adjusted for inflation. In other words, each COLA, cost of living adjustment, applied to benefits since 1983 have pushed more beneficiaries over the income thresholds. In fact, less than 10% of beneficiaries owed taxes on Social Security income when the law went into effect in 1983. But now that figure is 50% today, meaning that about 50% of people that get Social Security benefits pay taxes on them now. And a big COLA in 2023 will add momentum to the problem and mean even more people will pay taxes on those benefits now. In most cases, beneficiaries who derive all of their income from Social Security will not pay taxes on the benefits and probably make below the income thresholds, but not necessarily. But those with additional sources of income, such as a job, 401k distributions, or traditional IRA distributions, may find themselves on the wrong side of the income thresholds next year. Tax liability depends on number one, filing status, number two, combined income, which is defined as the sum of modified adjusted gross income, or AGI, plus 1/2 of Social Security benefits. The details are if you're a single taxpayer and you have combined income that falls between 25 and 34,000, up to 50% of your Social Security benefits are taxable. So you can see that right here on the screen. If your combined income exceeds $34,000, up to 85% of your Social Security benefits are taxable. Yeah. Married taxpayers filing jointly, if your combined income falls between $32,000 and $44,000, up to 50% of your benefits are taxable. And remember, they haven't adjusted this since 1983, so that used to be a decent amount of money back then, but now, especially for a married couple, like that's not a lot. The average income nowadays for one person is $50,000. So for two people would be 100,000 because of inflation. I mean, 1983 was like 40 years ago. 40 years of inflation, it's not that much anymore. Up to 50% of Social Security benefits are taxable. If combined income exceeds that, up to 85% of benefits are taxable. So you can see how a lot of people are starting to fall in this range. I mean, $32,000 for a married couple. I mean, 32,000 divided by 2 is 16,000. Divided by 12, I mean, that's 1,300 a month per person. Remember, the average Social Security payment is now 1,500 a month or so. So you can see here how the average person is now falling into getting the Social Security benefits taxed. Beneficiaries who are taxed on Social Security benefits have two options. They can either make quarterly estimates to the IRS, or they can request that federal taxes be withheld by completing a Form W-4V. Also noteworthy, retired workers should bear in mind that 12 states tax their Social Security benefits as well. Those states that tax Social Security benefits are Colorado. The state tax rate is 4.55%. Connecticut, the state tax rate ranges between 3% and 6.99%. I'm not going to go through all the details here. I'm just going to briefly do this. Kansas, 3.1% and 5.7%. Minnesota, 5.35 and 9.85%. That's almost 10%. I mean, that's crazy. Missouri, 1.5 and 5.4%. Montana, 1% to 6.75%. Nebraska, 2.46% to 6.84%. New Mexico, 1.74% to 5.9%. Rhode Island, 3.75% to 5.99%. Utah, the state tax rate is 4.9%. Again, each of these things have, different stipulations and qualifications. You can look this stuff up. You can Google this stuff if you want to. Maybe pause the video real quickly if you want to. Vermont, 3.35% to 8.75%. And West Virginia, 3 to 6.5%. Again, stipulations may vary. Next up, new information is saying the Social Security Trust Fund may be depleted earlier than anticipated. The aging baby boomer population created a financial problem for the Social Security program. Costs are rising quicker than revenue. In fact, the Social Security program ran a $56 billion deficit in 2021. That's a lot. And that trend is expected to continue indefinitely until they make tweaks to the program. So the Social Security Trust Fund is on track to be depleted by 2035, which is in about 12 years. And 2035 may sound like a long time from now, but 12 years from now is not that long. The program is facing a $20 trillion shortfall through 2096. Really, they just need to change the trajectory and make some tweaks to how income is collected and things like that, according to the Board of Trustees. That does not mean retired workers will completely lose benefits, but it could lead to a pay cut if Congress fails to resolve the program. Specifically, if the trust fund is depleted by 2035, income taxes will only cover 80% of scheduled benefits. This is because, one of the reasons is because they did not anticipate an 8.7% raise in 2023, the fourth largest raise ever. The projections discussed the previous paragraph that the raise would be no more than 5.4%, 5.1%. In other words, unusually large Social Security raises would accelerate the depletion of the Social Security Trust Fund. So they're going to have to make some tweaks to the plan. And one of which I talked about in the previous video, which could actually increase benefits by $200 a month, $2,400 a year, while taking in more money, is a plan by Senator Bernie Sanders and has about 200 co-sponsors in Congress, mostly Democrats. They need a few Republican supporters to pass something like this, and it would actually increase the solvency by about 75 years. So not only would they be able to pay out more benefits, but it would actually increase the solvency by 75 years. And Social Security themselves had their mathematicians and their statisticians do the math on this and said that it would increase the solvency by 75 years because of how much money it would bring in, and they would be able to pay out these additional benefits. This is because basically it would have the Robin Hood type of effect tax the wealthy and distribute it to the rest of the people. So right now, the wealthy stop paying, or the rich, I don't know, however you want to say it, whatever the politically correct way of, I don't know, maybe all that's politically correct. They stopped paying Social Security payroll taxes on $147,000. This is because that's the maximum cap on it. Once you reach $147,000, that's the maximum earnings you can earn on Social Security. There's a cap on Social Security, like you've hit the maximum for that year. Okay, so you've hit the maximum. You don't pay into it anymore because Social Security they have a top. They have a cap. You've hit the max. Okay, so you don't pay into it anymore because you can't get any more benefits. Okay, well, the proposals in Congress that actually Republicans and Democrats both like this idea is to have them pay into it again over that cap, and they just won't get any benefits. So they would actually be paying a lot of money into it. It's like 12 to 15% of their income. So that's actually a lot, because you think about the highest tax brackets are like 36%. But then you got state taxes on top of that, which can be like 10%. And then you got Social Security taxes on top of that. So you're up to like 40% in some cases. Um, well, let me think about this. 36, 46. Then you got net investment taxes. You're at like 50% before Social Security taxes. You'd be at like 60% taxes. The government would be making more money than you would. You would literally be taxed at like 60% or more. This is kind of one of the problems, is that should your tax rate be at 60% plus? And that's the kind of, it already actually is over 50% in some cases for high income earners. And this is kind of, you think you go to work, you make money. Should the government make more money than you? They didn't even go to work. They didn't even make any money. That is actually the case for some people. The government didn't even do any work. They make more money than you. I digress. But that is the case now. And this would actually add even more taxes on. But you guys can let me know your thoughts on that. And that's the whole thing. That's the whole reason why America broke away from Britain: taxation without representation and high taxes. But you guys let me know your thoughts on this. But those are both Republicans and Democrats who want to do this. The Republicans just don't want to raise the $2,400 benefits for everybody else. They want to just basically keep the money in there because it would be more fiscally responsible to keep the money in Social Security and not pay it out to everybody else, because it would make it even more fiscally responsible than paying out those extra benefits. So they're actually not that far apart in the ideologies there. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel right now. Just click the subscribe button and then the bell icon if you haven't yet, so you don't miss out on new videos. I'll keep you up to date here on all this. Click this next video. Don't forget to like and share these videos as well. Here's my newest video. You can watch this next if you haven't yet. And here's my newest video on Social Security, the funding that just passed for Social Security. Also, more information on the $2,400 bill as well, the raise to that. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.